Minkowski spacetime refers to a mathematical illustration of what our reality looks like when factoring in the fourth dimension of time. What results are what's called both light cones and time cones, both referring to the same thing, which is to say the shape that forms looks like an hourglass. But in also the way that I've come to think about it, we in the present moment are precisely at the center point of that cone, that hourglass, which is to say that there is both the past and the future represented by either side of the cone. The way that I've been coming to relate to patterns in time is more in alignment with this model, in that I've been observing recurrences, patterns, similar themes, and expounding upon themes each day of the year, in the sense that, say for example, the 24th of December, how there's more of a similarity or a resonance between this December 24th of 2025 and December 24th, wow, I said 2025, but it's 2024, right? Interesting. It's all the same, really. It's just one or the other side of the cone. They're both actually alive in the field. I mean to say, rather than thinking about time as progressing onward on a straight line, right? And the past is over here and the future's over there and we're walking towards the future. It's more that, like the central point, the point from which all emerges in a circle, the present moment, I am the center point. And I am observing as I'm traveling outward in the sense that the point, from the point emerges what becomes the circumference of a circle, the field. Within that circle, what I am envisioning, how I'm seeing it, is that there are lines radiating out of that central point. And actually, they're not straight lines. It's actually, this is the traveling arc of the spiral. Thus, as I proceed along this spiral, it's like each day is its own separate spiralic strand. And so that day, say the 24th, here is this strand of energy radiating out of the center of the circle. 24, it wraps back around and hits again. 24, wraps back around, hits again. 24. And thus there's a kind of carved path out of the center along this strand of energy, which is in alignment with what we're calling the 24th day of the 12th month of the 2024th year. But it is connected to all the other 24th days of the 12th month in all the other years, past and to be. The key, the gateway to stepping into a new reality here on planet Earth is what we call time. The fourth dimension of time By my perception, time is such a broadly encapsulating term which refers to very many things. Each of these things are their own dimension, and it's a matter of being able to perceive, so to be aware of, and to hold these various dimensions and create harmony amongst them. This is the manifestation of a new experience, a new reality on planet Earth. So, this is what I have been cultivating an awareness of. These various shapes and these various dimensions of time. Because by my perception, structure plus flow equals rhythm. And understanding our own individual rhythm and placing that individual rhythm within the collective current, its own rhythm, and understanding how both of these are informed by universal strands, themes. This is the key to mastery. This is to cultivate both direction, which is masculine, and orientation, which is feminine, relationship between things. So as to cultivate synthesis amongst all of these various dimensions. Time refers to light. Time refers to element. Time refers to season. Climate. Energy. This is why I find the study of astrology to be so fascinating. This to me is what soul star means. The Platonic solids representing the elements, water and earth and air and fire and ether. Each of these forms can also be stellated or made to be star-like. And this is when essentially what occurs is all of the flat surfaces become pointed outwards. They visually represent the radiation of one's gifts, one's essence. So the soul, the sun, is our individual light, the core of who we are. And the star is what happens when we expand beyond our own individual solar system, our system of self, and into cosmic consciousness. This is the soul star. It's true that the soul stars are beacons, but in the same way that a black hole can be a beacon, when there are jets of light beaming out of these completely dark spaces. But in fact, what creates that light is the dance of debris and star stuff around the black hole's event horizon. And in the case of supermassive black holes, these form quasars, which are the brightest observable things in space. The light which radiates, dances around the darkness. This is the force of gravity. This is why gravity as energy, harnessing gravity as energy, is to create energetic efficiency. Because gravity is so powerful. Gravity is magnetism, it's attraction. Soul Star. I desire to connect as many people to this awareness of the multi-dimensionality of time, as well as the tools with which to orient oneself to one's own inner compass, one's own North Star. Because this is what is meant by time being relevant. Being relative. Einstein's relativity of time. This literally, in a very practical way, just means that we're all experiencing time individually from our own vantage points. This is not just some equation or scientific fact that exists solely when referring to things in outer space. This is the rule governing human life as well. And what is madness is that there have existed such rigid and limited ways of measuring time, relating to time, and also there is such a degree of powerlessness or disempowerment that human beings are supposed to just accept relative to their time to exist in this model of reality. That's insanity. What creates energetic efficiency is everyone being in their own right timing. And in fact, the more in alignment with one's own rhythm one is, I would say the more choreographed one's dance through reality and through the universe is. Choreographed in the sense of divine perfect timing, synchronicity, effortlessness, ease. This is what creates energetic efficiency. Instead, what exists are models which measure time by the hour, as though each hour were the same thing, or as though each person relates to that hour and thus can do, and etc. something different within the span of what's called an hour. In other words, it's static. What we need are dynamic models, is a dynamic model for time. Dynamic, to me, implies movement and life. It's like the fire. It's occurring to me in this moment again why the number 13 is transformation, but is also referred to as death. It's just change. The 13 is the secret to life. It is one's relationship to death. Of course, how could it be anything else? In a model of reality which is operating based upon duality, or, as I like to think of it, polarity. Not two things dueling or at odds with one another, but 2 points of the same pole. And in fact, that pole is a figure 8. It's the infinity. And this is to say that there is a flow of energy occurring from one pole to the other at all times. Although we can create energetic blockages. That's why one of my key words is vitality. Comment Soul Star or send a message if you desire to learn more.